Hi, my name is Matthew Phillips. I'm an Associate Teaching Professor of Law and Ethics in the Business School and the Director of the BB&T Center for the Study of Capitalism. I'm also a Wake Forest alumnus from the class of 2000. If you're anything like me, while you were at Wake Forest, the phrase pro humanitate animated a lot of your life and service commitments here. We use that phrase a lot, but it has a surprising history, and it might not mean what you think it does. It's easy to translate pro humanitate as for humanity. It's a pretty obvious looking translation, but it misses something important. Professor James Powell, who retired from Wake Forest in 2015 from the Classics Department, explained that humanitate means something more like humanness rather than humanity. And so pro humanitate says something about creating a deeper sense of humanness, making us more fully human, or even enabling human flourishing. The source of pro humanitate is really important too. In fact, the phrase doesn't mean nearly as much once it's separated from the university seal where it first appeared. The seal itself is a pretty cool story. It was created in 1909 by William Lewis Petit, who was the president of Wake Forest at the time. It was actually drawn by his sister, Ida Petit, who was at Meredith College, an art professor. She also created Meredith's seal, and she worked with her other brother, Edwin McNeill Petit, who was the president of Furman University, to create their seal. I still think ours is the best. President Petit's seal puts a chi rho in the center. It looks sort of like a PX, but it's actually the Greek chi, the X, and the Greek rho, which looks like a Roman P, the first two initials of Christ. Those initials are set in a shield with rays of light coming from the top. And under that shield is the phrase pro humanitate. What Petit was trying to convey was that Wake Foresters were people who shared the light of Christ in order to make people more deeply human. As we've become a more diverse and pluralistic community, we've moved away from using the seal in everyday communication because it doesn't explain who each of us is. We're not all bound by our faith any longer, but rather by our participation in this community. But the phrase pro humanitate and the original idea of that shield can still be pretty critical. If we think about what makes us important as Wake Foresters, what makes us unique as individuals, and try to use that in order to make people more deeply human, it points to a deeper kind of service, one in which we use who we are rather than just taking on some immediate task. I think it's pro humanitate if you're doing your job in a way that creates value for the society around you. I think it's a good thing to do, but maybe not pro humanitate if you're just working on a generic service project that anybody could do. Pro humanitate says to pull from the depths of your soul and use what is most true about you to make people more deeply human. Anybody who's had a chance to do that, and I hope Wake Forest has provided you a lot, knows that that's an incredibly enriching experience for everyone who's involved.